Women are broke and desperate for men to save them. Today we have a video from Modern Women Archives. Their channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go and check them out. And women are basically freaking out because they're broke, they don't have money. The simp economy is essentially all that they have to survive upon, and it's not going well. Men are avoiding relationships, avoiding dating, avoiding taking them out for dinner. Women are not able to pay their bills anymore. They're not able to afford meals because this is how the simp economy works. And now they are panicking. They're putting up constant videos saying that men are no longer approaching them, men are not talking to them, men are not subsidizing their lifestyle anymore. The foodies are struggling, guys. What does this actually mean for women going forward? How is this going to affect women going into the future? We'll cover all of that by the end of the video, so watch till until the very end. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Our Rumble will be linked in the description of the video. And also, don't let them tell you that you will own nothing and be happy. Go and check out Angry's Crypto Academy to learn how to buy, sell, and trade crypto, as well as make massive profit. It's linked in the description of the video. And you can also click on the QR code on the screen. How tech savvy is that to be taken over to the academy at any time? And now let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
I have a question for men. You see, I feel like men are no longer interested in dating. They're not even trying. Why do you guys think that's the case? Let me know your answer in the comments.
We don't want to date you because it's a waste of time, money, and resources.
What a stupid bitch!
So why do men no longer come up to women? I asked this in a TikTok last week, and it got so many comments, especially from men. And I just want to preface this with, this was no shade to men, this post was no shade to men, and neither is this one. I was just genuinely curious and asking. I love men, I think they're awesome, and I think that they're a little confused right now. But most of their responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were...
I love men. I think that they're awesome. I just think that they're a little confused right now. Bro, the gaslighting is epic. I told you women would say that feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight it together. Feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight for one another. Okay, I told you the day would come where you'd ask a woman, "Are you a feminist?" and she's going to say, "Fema what? Fema who? Fema fema fema." Is that a new song? Is that a new dance? Did you mean FEMA camp? I've heard of those places. They're terrible. I don't want to go there. Oh no, I've always been more of a girly girl. I just want to be a wife and a mother. You know, I love ponies and Jesus. I want to have babies and serve my husband and God. Listen to me. I told you this day was coming. Y'all did not believe me. Okay? And the Bible is the Bible. Listen, I've said this already. The Bible is not simply telling us of things to come. It's a historical retelling of things that have already happened. When you hear things like the day shall come where two women will hold on to one man and say, you know, let me how does it go, let me take your last name, I will bring my own bread and I will pay my own bills, but just let me take your last name to take away my shame. Bro, that's not a prediction. That's not a prediction of the future. They're retelling you stories of the past. These are things that happened in the Roman Empire. These guys, we've been here for at least 200,000 years, if you believe scientific evidence. Okay, in our current state, 200,000 years. There is nothing new under the sun. Okay? This is how women were then. This is how women are now. When society begins to collapse, they begin gaslighting, sign language, shame, insults, guilt, gaslighting, because they need to be right. Men are confused. Oh, you poor foolish men. You don't understand what you've been going through. It's not that it's a misunderstanding. It's not us and it's not you. You just don't understand. You're just confused. You're just confused. We didn't tell you to go away. We weren't talking about you. We were just saying that we wanted people to approach us with a bit more respect. I love when guys approach me. Guys, the jig is up. The jig is up. The simp economy is convoluted right now. There's not enough breadcrumbs for everyone, okay? The average OnlyFools creator is only making like something like $150 a month. You have all of these women that are popping on like, oh my gosh, I made more money than LeBron James last year on OnlyFools. Bro, They are just sure these people are just there so they can draw more women in, so that they can have lots of young women who are looking at it like, oh my goodness, look at all of these women making all of this money. They're making more money than LeBron James. Listen, I need to go get my money, girl. Get your money, girl. Get your money. Yas, yas, you are so beautiful. Yas, queen. What they don't realize is because they don't think far enough ahead that, bro, the average woman is literally making nothing. You just basically sold your soul for $1.50, bro. That's like a couple meals at McDonald's.
Told that you want to be left alone and you just want your own space and you don't want us approaching you. Which for some women that can absolutely be true, but I love meeting people in person, and I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person, and I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online.
She loves meeting people in person and admits it takes a confident person to do it, yet she doesn't want to do it herself. She expects men to do it instead. She's desperate for men to approach her.
She's that desperate.
Reason 1,000,001 why the dating apps fucking suck is the men on there are ass fucking ugly. Y'all literally built the fire, then climbed into the pot. You decided amongst yourselves that putting effort into how you look, caring about your appearance, means you're gay. Now you're unattractive and women don't want to be with you. And yet you somehow still feel entitled to having an attractive, intelligent partner. But then she makes you feel insecure because you don't like how you look. You don't feel good about yourself. You lack self-confidence, and then you blame her. If you don't put effort into how you look and how you present yourself, why would I think you're going to put effort into me and our relationship if you can't even do it for yourself? Take a fucking shower.
Yeah, so here's the interesting thing. Women think that putting videos like this online that are bashing men for how they appear on dating apps is going to encourage more men to approach them in public. But if you have to remember that the way women think is based solely on emotion, not on logic. They're not looking at it from a logical perspective. Their logic and reasoning is entirely intertwined and led by their emotions. Wherever the wind blows, their emotions will go. Men process Men process information using facts. All right. So their logic is filtered through facts. A woman's logic are filtered through feelings. It's just how different our brains are wired. So the most irrational thing, an irrational behavior will make sense to a woman because she's looking at it from an emotional lens, not a logical lens based on fact-based reasoning. It's a sad reality. And unfortunately, this is one of the reasons why women need men to do a lot of certain things, to do thinking for them in some ways. It's not to say that women are not capable of learning, women are not capable of creating, women are not capable of being rational. But on average, women need men to look at things from a fact based lens and make decisions that they cannot make because they will always look at it through an emotional lens. Even if they're choosing from facts, they're going to choose the facts that they like the best. And if the facts that they like the best aren't there, they will go and invent something. It's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. And of course, they're like, oh, well, man, girls mature faster than boys. It's a lie. It's the ones who claim that they're so mature that are the most immature. If you have to claim that another group is so immature and you're constantly putting them down endlessly, you're the immature one. If you have to constantly go around and say that you're so independent and you're more independent than everyone else, I'm independent. If you have to put independent, I'm independent in your bio, that means that you have an insecurity and that you lack independence. You see, a man doesn't need to put that he's independent. A man just does what he has to do like a normal adult.
Get a haircut, get a skincare routine, and start wearing some better clothes that fit and look good. Put some fucking effort in, and you may start getting some more matches. And if you're going to be offended by this, I would strongly suggest you look at the amount of matches you have and take a look at yourself. Do something about it.
This is coming from the same gender who says they don't care about looks as much as communication, empathy, kindness, and vulnerability. It's coming from the gender who wants you to love them regardless of their weight, or whenever they remove their makeup.
Hypocrites.
Everyone needs to get freakishly realistic about where you stand in the social hierarchy, what league you are playing in, because I am so sick of seeing everyone try to shoot for the 10% of either gender, either gender. But you know what? Guess what? The 10% are dating each other. So there is logically no point for you trying to shoot that high above yourself.
I wonder where she believes what level she is on the social hierarchy of dating. I wouldn't be surprised if she was going for the top 0.01% of men.
The girl is deluded.
Dating guys who are private and aren't super active on social media is great and all until you're going through a breakup with them and they don't give you any content to stalk. You have no idea what the motherfucker is up to. I'm not getting a damn story. Bro doesn't like anything on social media. In fact, I probably don't even follow him anymore and he's probably on private. So even if he did post something, I wouldn't know. Can't stalk any reposts because he probably doesn't even have TikTok. There's just nothing. These guys, they move in silence.
You see, and that's the key, to be stoic and to move in silence. That's where your power comes from. Once you develop as a man and you basically remove the need to have someone validate you, you get rid of the fear of being alone. Most of us need some form of social interaction. Don't listen to the introverts. Let me tell you something about introverts. Introverts, they can do a lot of damage to themselves because of their introverted nature sometimes. And I'll tell you this because I've had introverted friends. They basically end up being alone, and they feel really good being alone, and they're happy alone. And then suddenly they realize there's no one around. I haven't spoken to anyone in a hot minute. And that's when they start to hyperventilate and they start to feel like they're boxed in, because even introverts need interaction with others. Everyone needs someone. But for men have to learn how to be alone and how to be stoic. And once you basically, as a man, are able to control your lust and your desire to be validated by others, you you become extremely powerful. When you're able to walk away from others, when you're able to tell others to come to you versus making them come to versus them versus making them versus them making you go to them, when you're able to say, yeah, I want to go out and do this, come and join me, I want to do this, when you're the one who's leading and guiding, it changes everything. When you're okay with people leaving your life, it changes everything, because people feed upon the loneliness of others, and women feed upon the loneliness of men. But once you start to learn as a man that you don't need that relationship, another thing that a lot of these young women don't understand is that once a guy hits 40, late 30s, a lot of times early 40s, there's a change that occurs in us biologically. I've only heard a few other men ever talk about this. Okay. But once you hit this age, suddenly that constant desire for reproduction, it begins to go downhill for a lot of guys. The baby boomers are strange men. These guys are just, these are weird guys. Like something is wrong with them psychologically, because they're like at 60 years old still having kids, 60 years old still having kids. Like it's like you have a 40-year-old son and you're still having kids at 60 years old, 65 years old. Like these are irresponsible people. They had children not because they cared about their kids, but because they were irresponsible or they had them for selfish reasons. People who are adults, people who are rational and reasonable, they don't have kids. They don't just go around having kids that they can't afford. But yeah, when you turn 40 as a man, or when you're in that age range, something changes inside of you, like the constant desire to have children, to reproduce, to it. I guess your body, your brain is like, yeah, bro, you're at that age now, man. You should have gotten that out of the way. It's like you can still have them, but I'm not gonna hit you as hard as I used to go and get it done. And suddenly you develop a sense, you develop more of a peaceful sense where, yeah, you look at women and you're like, yeah, I'm okay without that. I'm okay without the stress. It's like you don't feel as lonely. It's an interesting thing. It's not to say that you don't experience loneliness, but and I think that also it's the experiences you have as a man, that by the time you hit a certain age, like if you've had enough experiences, really hard experiences, you start to learn a lesson. You're like, I'd rather be alone than feel alone. Because you can be with someone and feel so alone. You can feel more alone with someone than when you're by yourself. In a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
And it's deafening. That being said, I'm kind of also grateful, because if they did give us content, we'd probably go crazy. Like, I just can't tell. Is it a blessing or is it a curse? All I know is my curiosity, that hell is suffering.
You crazy bitch!
If a man ever brags that they do not chase women, oh, she's falling down. If they brag that they do not chase women, if they brag that they're not going to go out of their way for a woman, you like men. You want to be a princess. You want a man to chase you. They haven't admitted to themselves that they are like actually gay, okay? Because a guy who, like, guys know, like, it's not about chasing women in particular. Like, it's more about pursuing a woman, okay?
Here's where things get so funny, because these are the same women that are like, I have tons of GAY friends, and I'm not against. Yeah, yeah. You know what's terrible. So I know there's a pause right there. I was just like recording for you guys. I'm not gonna remove this from the stream. I'm not gonna remove this from the stream. I'm recording for you guys, working on this video, and I guess I didn't realize that I had side scrollers open in the background, and Blabs is there, and they're, I guess that they're at the Rumble studio, Longboat Key Studio, and they're recording at the studio, which is pretty cool. And it starts going off in the background. I don't know if you guys heard it or not. And that's why I ended up doing this pause right here while I'm working on the video for you. It's funny. It's just one of the interesting things about working on content. And I'm not going to take this out. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to leave it in, because I think that little things, little disruptions like these are just funny while you're working.
If they're like bragging that they do not pursue women, like you're kind of girly, kind of weird. It's just not a flex, because the girls that are actually of high quality are going to not chase you. They're not going to chase your validation. They're not going to go out of their way to prove to you that they're worth being picked. Okay. Because a lot of the high quality women that you want are going to require you to pursue them. You are not the prize. The woman is the prize, always. And if you think you're the prize, sir, I think you need to be with men. You need to be with men.
See, this is all they have: shame, insults, guilt, gaslighting because they need to be right. They have not, this is childhood stuff. This is 12-year-old stuff, bro. Men are so passive. They don't even understand. Most men are just like, yeah, I don't chase relationships. I don't chase women because I just don't care anymore. I'm not interested. Oh, then basic. So if you're not chasing a woman, then they basically question your sexuality. Come on, bro. Like, it's so disrespectful, and it reflects how much they dislike the average man. The more that a woman dislikes you, the more work that she demands that you put in. So you have to comprehend that since most women are demanding that most men have to chase them and court them and all this other stuff, that and they need to do basically a million different things, that only reflects just how much they dislike most of us. They don't like us, bro. They basically are just trying to use us to subsidize their living. They've been doing this for decades, but now the jig is up and hard times have arrived. Hot girl summer is over, broke girl winter is here. And this basically, the way that they survive is off the subsidization of subsidization from men. So they survive off the state, which is funded by men. They survive off Sims, which who are barely men. They survive off relationships, of gaslighting good-hearted, kind-hearted men into relationships, and then using those men to build their lives off, so then they can take the man's assets and return to the streets. So it's basically the streets, Sims, the state. Those are their only other options. And we all know what the streets are. The streets, they think that the streets are fun until the streets basically become real, and then they want to look for a man to take them off the streets. And it's like, now they're realizing, yeah, it doesn't work like that. There's no, the options that they once had are now going bye bye. They're gonna have to figure it out for themselves. And of course, they don't know how to get them. They don't know how to use kindness, use honesty, genuine, be femininity to get a man, because those are things they didn't grow up with. Femininity is a part of a woman's personality, and by the time a woman's around 7 years old, her personality is mostly set in stone. So there's not much that she can really do. Women are told that men exist to serve them, so these women are not going to become wives and mothers who basically are good at child rearing and providing, and and taking care of the home, because they're not built for that. They believe that that men are supposed to make a lot of money so that they can order Uber Eats all day long and chill and just relax and hang out with their friends. They believe that men exist to give them a better life and to make their lives, to make them feel like goddesses on earth. They don't understand that they don't comprehend that it's over. And women overseas have the complete advantage because these are women who are raised to be wives and mothers. These are women who know that you don't say things like, "Oh, how much money do you make?" Like, even a gold digger from overseas, even a lot of women who are trying to gold dig and they come from overseas, they will act like they're honest and they're sweet and they're genuine, which is why you have to be careful as well. And they will basically say they don't care about money at all. And they will pretend and pretend and pretend. The reason why they do this is because they know that if you immediately start talking about money, a lot of men are going to run away. So you want to make yourself look honest. You want to make yourself look genuine. You want to make yourself look like you don't care about the man's money or what he has. And this way, you're going to be able to cast a wider net. And then, once you've casted a wider net, you're now going to lower the guard off these men in general. And then you can find out these things for yourself. You can find out how much money they have through observations or things that they begin saying. Eventually, they'll likely open up to you. And once their guard is down, you can choose from the man that you want or the men that you want. That's how it operates. It's logical. All right. I'm not saying it's an honest thing to do. All right. But it's a strategy. But the average woman, it doesn't even want to take time to invest. They just want they basically want the man at the finish line. They don't even want to put in effort into trying to figure out if the man has money or not, or if the man is no. They basically want the finished package, because you have women who go out on dates with guys, like literally in places like Miami. Some random simps will, like, basically, like, just grab some, like, hey, see some girls on the street, like, hey, come hang out with us, and drop $20,000 on them in a single night. And then they start thinking that they're worth $20,000. Their time, a few hours of their time, is worth $20,000. Simps. I mean, and then consider that, come 20, 30, 45% of all women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be challenged as single. And when you factor in single mothers, that's around 70%. Things are not looking good for them. They're going to find themselves facing extraordinary hardship, poverty, and destitution. And the big difference is that no one's coming to save them. Men are never going back. The Sims basically right now have all the leverage because they're basically making it rain, but they don't have infinite amounts of cash. So basically, the reality is women are going to find the availability, the ability to even extract wealth and resources from Sims diminishing, because it's basically about supply and demand. So if the supply is greater, if the supply is greater than demand, and there are the resources available to purchase said supply, then the price has to go down. Okay? The price has to go down. So now you have, the average woman is making, let's say, $150 a month for, on OnlyFools and OnlyFans. That can go down to $75. That can go down to $35. You're right. You say $35. Hard times, baby doll. Hard times, baby girl. You're gonna have to work for it. Work, 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 work. That $35 can get you a little meal at McDonald's, and you just keep it moving. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Women are broke and desperate for men to save them. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.